Okay, so we're back in Helldivers 2, where things seem to be heating up after the last patch, adding the server cap to 700,000. We have fears that we still may reach the cap and it need expanding. On top of that, the Helldivers 2 director explains why taking more devs from Sony isn't a simple solution to all of its issues, which is an interesting talk overall. And Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox. The fight continues, and there's a lot going on. It'll be interesting to see how this one works out and what it is that's happening. So today, we're going to go through all of the news for you guys with Helldivers 2 so we can keep you well informed here on the channel. Now, if you haven't already, smash that like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. And check out our sponsor, Advanced GG, the #1 clinically proven energy supplement on the market. My favorite flavor is cherry vanilla, but you guys can catch an array of flavors via the link in the description. Use code CLOUD at checkout for a cheeky discount, and head down to the comment section and make sure we slap in a emoji for the salute so we can salute across all Helldivers 2 players in the rec. With that being said, let's dive on into the video. So starting off, we have obviously just had the latest patch update, of which the number is rapidly growing. As it stands at the point of recording, the current player base right now is at 279,000 players, with a 24-hour peak of 458,000 players just on Steam alone. Now, with the server cap going up to 700,000, it doesn't leave much wiggle room, considering a lot of players are playing on PlayStation as well. Obviously, the way that this is going to optimize will be interesting to say the least, but I will expect to see the server capacity drove all the way up to about 1 million if its potential has got it there. I think that we can peak up quite heavily. Now, Helldivers 2 players hope for the best and prepare for the worst, as the CEO warns that we might still hit the limit after devs raise the server cap to 700,000 for the busy weekend. Now, Arrowhead is still trying to get past the players into Helldivers 2, and the latest is that Helldivers 2 patch has raised the cap again, but Arrowhead Game Studio CEO says that it likely won't eliminate wait times and just make them more bearable. Obviously, the numbers will be a lot lower, but they just launched the patch 1.000.12, and if you haven't seen the video on that, we break it fully down for you guys. The link is in the top annotation right now, or you can check that out on the channel. But these new features obviously issue for a few bug fixes and raises the all-important server cap. The shooter's server cap has been troubling since the game's release just over 2 weeks ago, and the team has been rolling out improvements consistently, but there's still a lot of work to be done, as the studio CEO reminded fans following the patch release date, and he states, "We have up to the max CCU cap to 700,000. Unfortunately, we expect the CCU to reach that level. We believe that the wait times will be much more bearable." The CEO tweets then ends by telling fans that the team will be doing some final improvements ahead of the weekend to ensure a smooth next couple of days. Now, in a separate tweet though, Palstid noted that we might still hit the limit in the future, but for now we are above what we have been able to support. We are actually monitoring the situation. Previously, just a few days after Helldivers 2's release, Arrowhead managed to increase the server capacity from 250 to 360, but as they said at the time, this still wasn't enough to meet the player demand. Now, just 11 days later, it's increasing by a further 340,000. That's almost double what it had this time last week, and no wonder Helldivers 2 team is completely exhausted, but very, very pleased with its success. An interesting one that you guys need to see, and if you want to check out the tweets, then make sure you go and drop the follows where they're needed. All of the sources are down in the description, so make sure you go and show some support to them. But on top of that though, they obviously are struggling to keep up with the capacity, and the Helldivers 2 director also explains why taking more devs from Sony isn't a simple solution to all issues. I mean, it seems like a really good solution, but as we previously reported though, following the launch of Helldivers 2, Arrowhead's developer faced a lot of challenges stemming from their own success, and the influx in players plagued the servers completely, which meant that the studio needed more people to support the game and its future content plans. It seems that Arrowhead's CEO Johan perfectly understands the situation and the consequences that it can lead to, so he's trying to balance and well thought out decisions. Now, there was a tweet that originally went up, which you guys will now see on screen, and this one is quite an interesting one to say the least. Somebody said, I assume one challenge is scaling up for the current numbers, knowing they'll inevitably drop a decent amount to something more manageable, but also realizing it'll surge around content updates and releases. Fun stuff. Now, Johan actually responded to that with the act of over-hiring to then do layoffs is a horrible practice and a bad experience for employees. Short-term solutions for short-term problems, such as outsourcing, contractors, or limited-time agreements. Who could have thought? Now, obviously, that is extremely transparent and that is absolutely incredible. And the way that they want to work it is obviously really respectful. It doesn't lead people into a false sense of security. But this game could get even bigger. Now, how could that be the case? We have previously spoke about the game going over onto Xbox, as at the moment it's exclusive to PlayStation and on PC via Steam. And Xbox have been left in the dark with this game. And it seems to be one of the biggest games of the latest few months. Obviously, excluding Palworld to that exception, but Helldivers 2 Xbox release could end the console wars. Now, Helldivers 2 is uniting PlayStation 5 and Xbox players in the effort to beat the bugs, but here's how, because this is where the interesting part actually comes in. They are teaming up to kill bugs, spread democracy, and just maybe to end the console wars once and for all. It's a co-op game in which the three threats are much bigger and stronger than a single player could ever hope to be. Teamwork is in its very nature. While like team killing do happen in Helldivers 2, its multiplayer meta focuses on communication and collaboration, but since the launch and to date, the game has only ever been available on Windows PCs and PlayStation 5 consoles. Now, in the past, this might have been a point of contention for PlayStation 5 players, dangling Helldivers 2 in front of Xbox users with a sneer. However, there's no room for envy on Super Earth. There has actually been a ginormous petition that's currently gone out. Again, I'll leave the link down in the description if you guys are on Xbox or even on PlayStation and want to go ahead and sign it. At the moment, we have had a main goal of 75,000 people to sign it, and it's succumbed that very, very quickly. We're now at 76,285 at the point of recording, with 150,000 being the next goal. And obviously, today there was a signing of just over 3,500 people. That's a lot of people trying to push for this, and that's a lot of numbers that you just genuinely cannot ignore. So it'll be really interesting to see how it is that Arrowhead actually take this one, and whether that PlayStation allow this maneuver to go through to Xbox and stuff like that. But this petition, it shows the numbers that are there, and it's really, really interesting to see how much more they could actually add to this. Obviously, we've spoke about the server capacity. They've upped it to 700,000, and it's probably likely to expand beyond that point, and then it's going to obviously drop to a standard level, and then obviously peak again during content updates and or DLCs. So right then and there, you kind of look at it on a basis of once this all simmers down and it calms back down again, releasing it on Xbox may make a influx on the number generator to be able to mean that there's more players playing the game, therefore a longevity for Helldivers 2. And this game is extremely good. There's a lot to do inside of it, and the live service model for it works absolutely perfectly. So I'll be interested to see exactly how that one pans out, and I want your guys' opinions in the comment section below, so make sure you hit me up with those and we'll get some conversations going. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today, though. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. And don't forget to go down to the comment section and leave me a salute emoji. We'll be sitting them back with you guys in the comments. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. I appreciate your faces. Like, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.